Jenny Lauren Dowden for Conduit News, and today joining us we have attorney and FOIA advocate Joey McCutchen here to talk about the Arkansas Sunshine Law and the final big push regarding the petition to enshrine it into our state's constitution. Hi, Joey.
Hey, Jenny, it's good to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Wanted to just have you on to get an update on the Arkansas Citizens for Transparency initiative, and really just to tell our viewers what they need to know, but most importantly, what they can do now until the beginning of July.
Yeah, it's really an exciting time. We've got a great opportunity in Arkansas to literally have the most transparent government in the entire country. And one thing that I always say is we only have to look at our Republican Party platform to see how firmly we believe in transparency. And it's been really great to see our motto, Regnant Populus, acted out. I mean, the people rule. We've seen it on so many different levels. We see it at a Republican state party convention where the Republican, a group of people, are fighting basically the establishment. We've seen it at the Arkansas Bar Association, where a group of lawyers who are fighting for the people are fighting against the big building, tall building, government establishment types. We've just seen it all over, and it's been pretty amazing how many signatures and how far along we are. We've got to make a strong push. There's events all over the state for this transparency petition, but we're going to get there.
Talk to us about a little bit about that more. You mentioned the RPA platform. The one thing that I've loved about this initiative, thinking back to the special session and then in the following months, the issue of Arkansas's Freedom of Information Act has been such a unifying, nonpartisan issue. But the Republican Party of Arkansas, like you said, at the state convention, the delegates did pass a platform change supporting our Sunshine Law. Talk to us about that. And then one thing that I think is really interesting, and you did touch on this briefly, has it been difficult to get our Republican legislators to come out publicly to support this?
Yeah, it's been an amazing challenge with regard to Republican legislators, and it's you only have to look back at the special session where our governor led the charge to gut open records, and then the last session where literally the people had to fight to keep our open records and our open meetings because Republicans were leading the charge to decimate open government. And you got to ask yourself, why is that occurring? It didn't occur under the Huckabee or the Hutchinson administration, but it's occurring now. And our governor, she's wrong on this issue. And while you and I and the folks listening here probably agree 99% of the time with her, she is dead wrong on this issue. She is against the people of Arkansas who want transparent government. She is acting out against our state motto. She's acting out against the Republican Party of Arkansas platform. And she's putting an amazing amount of pressure on Republican legislators. And I think that's why they are one after the other will not sign this. But we have had some who have had the courage. But we also saw a courageous set of legislators in the special session when she attempted to gut open records. There were young first-year Republicans who led the charge to make sure that rules weren't suspended and that things were done in the openness of daylight.
I think something that seems to be lost during all of this is that there could possibly come a time, and these legislators need to remember this, there could possibly, if not, there will come a time, they're not in office. Perhaps Arkansas Republicans do not have a supermajority, whatever it may look like. We don't know. But they will not always be in power, and they will not always be in office, and they're going to want that same transparency and accountability that the people are calling for right now. And they would not like it if, say, a Democrat governor completely tried to hide and gut all of our transparency laws that we currently enjoy today.
Yeah, and that's the reason that I'm fighting so hard, is because this will create the strongest transparency laws in the country, both open records and open meetings. And my concern is for my kids and my grandkids, that someday somebody with the values of Joe Biden may be elected governor of this state. And I want to know who that person's traveling on publicly paid planes with. I want to know how much taxpayer dollars they're spending. I want to be able to see the process of laws being formed, of policies being performed. And that is very, very concerning. I mean, at some point it's just the nature of politics. There will be a Democrat as governor, and there will be probably a shift in legislators, and at that point we'll be looking from the outside in, and we will wish that we had a governor, we had transparency, but I think the bottom line here is we've got 1 week to finish this campaign. And again, all we're doing is we're putting this on the ballot. We're not voting. We're just giving Arkansas people the right to vote on the strongest transparency laws in the country.
I want you to tell people what they can do as far as, finding a petition to sign in just a second. But you mentioned the Arkansas Bar Association and the incident with another attorney and FOIA advocate, Jennifer Standifer. She was arrested, she was handcuffed and walked out of that meeting in front of all of her colleagues for having the petition. She was not out there soliciting signatures, but as she said, we had a wonderful interview with her on Conduit earlier this week. I'm very grateful that she came in and spoke to us, but she was like, I was not soliciting. They said, we don't want you to solicit. She's like, great, I'm not. But people have come to know her as being such a strong FOIA advocate and having those petitions with her. Give us your take on that arrest and the incident that happened in Hot Springs, just briefly.
Well, my take is on very close to that, because I was the one who went to the Arkansas Bar Association and said, we want the Arkansas Bar Association and your group of lawyers to vote for a resolution in support of the Government Transparency Act. We want to encourage your lawyers to talk to their friends, family members, co-workers, and support this freedom initiative. And so I was routed to the committee, and the committee was, they just didn't do anything. They punted and they said, we're going to have the Arkansas Bar Association Board of Trustees make this decision. And this was the day that Jennifer Standifer got arrested. 2 days before that, they told me that, unlike what they had told me before, I was going to speak before the Bar Board of Trustees. And they told me that they weren't going to have any outside speakers, that they've also told me numerous times that I wouldn't be allowed to bring petitions. And, that was very concerning. And then we see FOIA requests that right around the time I was making all this noise with the Bar Association, they're hiring more officers. They're asking it more. I mean, why? Why judges don't need any more protection in Arkansas? That's what they said. I think it was just to stop people like me and Jennifer Standifer from coming down there and having our petitions. They allow this type of political speech all the time. They allow people to campaign for themselves for all kinds of issues. And then they told Jennifer Standifer after they had handcuffed her and walked her out into the hallway, the officer told her that she was not allowed on the public sidewalk in front of the convention center.
Yeah.
And that was on a Friday. On Monday, I took my petitions and my table and my chairs, and I set them up on that very sidewalk and dared them to arrest me, because I was fully prepared to be arrested for exercising my free speech rights on a public sidewalk. All of these freedoms tie in, and this is why that our people need to sign these petitions. It's time to sign. If you don't want to sign an abortion petition, like many of us don't, then don't. If you don't want to sign an education petition, like many of us don't, then don't. Give us credit, special interest. We can read. We know the difference between a transparency petition and an abortion petition. And we're going to fight like heck to protect the right of life in Arkansas, but we're also going to fight like heck to protect the right to transparency in Arkansas. And so we've got a week. Yeah, we've got a week. And we have got an amazing amount of signatures, even though a Republican-led legislature has created so many hurdles for against the people. For example, last legislative session, they voted to increase the number from something like 15 counties to 50 counties.
15,
yeah, that's why we are in every county. That's why we have had a massive number of transparency events, and we will have transparency events all across this state. But we've gotten a ton of signatures, and we're going to get the signatures, but we can't relax now. We've got to push for that July 5th deadline. July 5th, that's the deadline.
Okay. And then people can go to, is it AR Citizens, the number 4 Transparency? What's the website?
Yeah, Arkansas Citizens for Transparency. The website, as well as the Facebook page, ACT, Arkansas Citizens for Transparency. And it will give where the events are going to be held. There's also another group of another ballot question committee that's done a great job, the Arkansans for a Free Press. But conservatives in the state of Arkansas believe in transparency. I mean, we see it in our Republican platform. And I really would like to read what we say in our Republican platform if you have just a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, it says we firmly support transparency and openness at every level of government. Those elected, appointed, and employed in government work for the taxpayers of Arkansas, of this state. And then it goes on to state, we support continuing efforts to make clear to local governments that officials are not to conduct public business outside the parameters of duly noticed public meetings, so that the public has the opportunity to see the entire decision-making process and to participate if they so choose. I mean, and that's exactly what's happening in these 2 petitions. That's all we're asking.
So clear.
Why would any Republican state senator or state representative not knock down the wall to sign this petition? It is amazing to me that and why would a governor not support that? It blows my mind, because that's what the people want. People want to go to a school board meeting, Jenny. For example, let's just give an example of a suit that I brought a week and a half ago against the Mountain Home School Board. A patriot by the name of Melissa Klinger brought FOIA'd because she thought that she was not seeing the entire discussion regarding a $50 million plus millage that the school board was trying to get on the ballot. And she FOIA'd those documents, and what she found was they were having secret meetings on a in a superintendent sponsored text message chain. And they were talking about the polling of being 3-3. And then the reporters, the media, local media got a hold of it, Jenny. And what they interviewed school board members and pinned them down and found out that this had been going on for 8 years.
Wow.
And that they were all these discussions that our platform speaks against on these secret email chains. Melissa Klinger was seeing huge gaps of information, and they were making decisions with that. And she's saying, well, how is this occurring? And it was occurring in secret. And that's what we've proven in this lawsuit. We had a school board member resign last week, and we'll be trying the lawsuit shortly. But look, FOIA protects this type of conservative issue. We're conservatives. We think that government has enough money.
Yeah.
And we're voting.
They do.
If we're voting locally for $50 million millage increases, we want to see those discussions, don't we? So
absolutely, yes. Okay, well, people can go to either the Facebook group or the website. We'll put that down at the bottom. Be on the lookout for a petition signing event near you. Anything else, Joey, that you want to mention before we let you go?
Well, I think just that Arkansas Citizens for Transparency, go to that website, go to your local newspaper outlets, and we are so close to having the strongest transparency laws in Arkansas, because there's no question in my mind that if we can get the signatures, this massive amount of signatures that our Republican legislature has foisted upon us in all the different counties, this will pass by an overwhelming majority. Because Arkansas is a populous state. We believe that the people rule. We're seeing it at every level of conversation, whether it's in the Republican convention, whether it's at the Arkansas Bar Association, whether it's on street corners where people are standing, doing what we do in America. Look, next week is the 4th of July, what I call Independence Day, when Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence, and we had Americans who were petitioning and losing their life so that we could have these freedoms. And Thomas Jefferson said, you cannot be free and ignorant. And that's so true. And that's what FOIA does. That's the reason I'm spending so much time on it. And that's why every day Arkansans are spending so much time to preserve our right to know.
Well, thank you, Joey, for all that you do for FOIA and government transparency, and hope that you join us again soon.
Look forward to it. Thanks for having me.